Facebook. What's going on, YouTube? I don't know why my bang is acting up. I'm back. Here I am again. It is so much going on. Oh my God. Have they turned the world upside down? This is Sky C, your social entrepreneur, your business and finance master, coach, trainer. What's going on, y'all? Are y'all okay out there? Because it has been so crazy, and it's going to get so much worse. Y'all better hold on to the roller coaster, because when it go up, you know how you put your hands up and say woo. Be prepared. It's going to be a lot of woo moments this year. Listen, oh my goodness, I feel for you. And it's really crazy because I'm not even on TikTok. I get on there, I watch it and stuff like that from time to time. But I told y'all before, I'm a face-to-face person. I'm doing social media more and more. I'm incorporating it into my daily lifestyle and everything. But I wanted to come on here tonight, and I'm not going to be here long because I got other stuff. But I really wanted to share with you. I wrote a book in 2019. I wrote it, but I didn't publish it until last summer. This past summer. I wrote the book in dedication to my grandmother, because I wanted to bring back the art of business etiquette. It is a lost art, and I wanted to bring that art back because apparently y'all need it. You definitely need it. I saw the debacle of the migration of the TikTok refugees over to the Red Note platform. Y'all went over there and was rude and disrespectful to these people. And that's why etiquette is so important, especially in business. But I wrote the book not only just just to honor my grandmother, but I also wrote it because of the encounters that I encounter myself doing business with other people, and how people don't realize that everything is customer service. Customer service is a whole experience. Customer service is not just how you answer the phone. Customer service is from the moment that you make contact, whether it's on the phone or whether it's in person. It is the whole experience that you're creating, for your client. If you looked at your clients as people and not just somebody to make money off of, just profit, then you will understand that it's like when someone comes to your home. When someone comes to your home, you're supposed to have hospitality. You're supposed to make them feel welcome in your home. It is the absolute worst thing in the world to go to somebody's home and not feel welcome. Have you ever gone to anybody's house and didn't feel welcome there, and you just wanted to make a U-turn and go right back out the door? Well, that's how your business should be. Every time someone encounters you, it should be an experience. They should always leave better than they came. And when I saw the Chinese people almost in tears talking about the way the Americans just came over just with no etiquette, I wrote this book. It's called You Don't Soup Because It's Soup. It's Business Etiquette 101, Doing Business the Right Way. It's on Amazon, How to Seal $1 Million Deals. Because people don't realize that most deals are made over dinner. And if you are wanting to do international business, you have to know other cultures. You have to respect those cultures, or you won't close the deal. And so I said, I was going to come on yesterday, but it was so late. I was like, I'm going to have to start coming on. Like, I'm going to have to put a schedule in like I did before, do my Money Mondays and Tech Tuesdays and Wealth Wednesdays and all of that. I'm going to have to get back to that type of schedule and hold myself accountable. So I was going to come on yesterday, but I was thinking about, it's a few things I'm really concerned about. Actually, I wanted to share. And the thing that I was really concerned about was when I was in, I think it started probably, I would say elementary school. So elementary school, we had to write current events, right? Every day we had to write current events. And I was never really concerned about like the local news. I was always concerned about world news, like what's going on in the world. I just thought that, what was going on in other countries was always so much more exciting about what was going on in the local news. I'm living the local news. We already know what's going on in the local news. Somebody killed somebody, robbed somebody bust somebody in the head. Nobody want to hear that. So I was always interested in world news. So I've been watching the world news probably since sixth grade or something. Probably like probably like fifth or sixth grade. Then in high school, I wanted to get into importing and exporting. So I started to study China. So I've been studying China. I've been watching China since probably the 80s now, and they've come a long way. So when I hear people so like surprised that China is so advanced, I'm really surprised. Do y'all read? Which is the reason I created a reading program, because I create programs, not just courses. I create programs. It's a difference between a program and a course. And I'm like, do people read? I created a reading program because our young people are graduating from high school and they're reading on like a third and the fourth grade level. How do you expect to compete? So China they weren't always where they are now. And so let me tell you that they have made so many strides. So when I went to college, my first major, I changed my major twice. My first major was international business, and I was going to go to China to study, because they were at that point, this was like around 2007, 2009. They were advanced then. They through the moon now. They're through the moon now. But I couldn't find anybody to, because see, when in school, when you go study abroad for a semester, you stay for the semester, but you have to, I had children at that time, and I didn't have anybody to watch my daughter while I went. So I had to change my major from international business to business and finance. So that's and that's why I'm the business and finance master coach, because I have a degree in business and finance. So when that was the reason I wanted to go to China, because they were so advanced. They were advanced back then. So now they are like really advanced. But I think the reason why, so I'm going to be talking about two things kind of like at once, because when I come here and I share, I'm trying to tell you guys what you need to do to get ahead as well. Now, when I was telling people that America is going to be a third world country, they just looked at me like, there's no way. We're a superpower. No, we're not. What makes a country a superpower? When you manufacture things. We don't make anything anymore. Everything is imported from China. So, which is the reason why they don't want to buy our stuff, because their stuff is more advanced than ours. So how are we going to compete in the world? But we're going to get to that. Okay, so let's get back to the business etiquette. So in chapter 20, I talk about navigating global business customs. It is very important that if you're going to go, I think I put in here Africa. I think I have Asia, Africa, of course, China, Asian, same thing. I have Asia, Africa, the Middle East. Who else I put in here? Like the most, I have Central America, South America, the Caribbean. And yes. And then I have chapter 21 is diversity in cultures. It is very important when you go abroad to do business, especially in the dining capacity, that you know the customs and the rules. See, we have to, and I stress this all the time, we have to stop being followers. We have to be, and if we're going to catch up, you can't be a follower. You got to, I said this the last time I was here. You have to be a change agent. You have to be a forward thinker, and you have to be an innovator. And so you're never going to get ahead being a follower. Everybody migrated over there and everybody just followed. Nobody picked up a book, read a book. Nobody knew anything about Mandarin Chinese, never heard of Mandarin Chinese. Everybody just ran over there. And now you have this awakening because when you're in business, basically what you're doing is you're creating your own economy. And so it would behoove you to learn economics. It is amazing to me the people that's in business that know nothing about economics. You don't know anything about money. All you know is you're on and you're selling something, somebody's buying it, you got money in your bank account. It is so, as you can see, it's so much more to it than that. And so even if you were going to go over to the Chinese app, you should have at least took the time to learn the customs. Business has etiquette. Other countries, as you can see, everything has a protocol. There is a right way doing business the right way. The reason why I named the book "You Don't Soup Soup" because it's soup, because I was being just rude, and my grandmother had made this amazing pot of soup. Like around this time when it's chilly and cold, y'all see I got my fluffy thing on. I'm in the house. I got my fluffy thing on, and she made in the wintertime she would make soups, different soups, and I was over there just being ignorant with it, just smacking and licking and sucking and everything and everything else, making noises with my mouth. And she just turned around and she looked at me. She said, "You don't soup because it's soup." It's just like, this soup is good. I mean, because she was like a soul food gourmet cook, because she cooked with like a lot of herbs and stuff like that, because she had diabetes, so she couldn't use like salts and stuff like that. So she used this wines and herbs, and oh my goodness, and everything was always so well seasoned and so tender and yummy. And then she made her own rolls and bread and cornbread, and just everything was just made from scratch, and it was just so good. I could just taste it as I'm thinking about it. And she would put the carrots in there. They would be fresh carrots, and everything was fresh and just yummy and good, and I was demolishing the soup. Okay. I was a teenager at the time. And I was just smacking and souping and sopping and everything else. And she said, "You don't soup because," so when I thought about the etiquette, and she started teaching me etiquette at 9. I started learning etiquette at 9. She said, this girl, you're going to have some manners, okay? And it's not just manners, but it's standards. It's protocol. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the way you do things. It's the impression that you leave. It's the impression that you give, when you meet people. And she wanted me to be very diverse and very, like just learning about like other cultures and stuff. I traveled, as a child. And then I grew up, got married, and traveled. My husband was in the military, and so she wanted me to know how to carry myself no matter where I went. If I went to, China or Africa or Dubai or wherever I went, she wanted me to be able to learn about their culture and then assimilate, with those people. Because when you go to other countries, you're like an ambassador. You're representing the country that you're coming from. And so you don't want to go to another country and not represent well. You want to represent well where you come from. And so I said, I think I need to come on, and you guys need to go buy my book. You need to go on Amazon and get it. And I really didn't come here to really sell a book, but y'all need this book for real, because the way y'all went over there in them people's culture and the way they came on social media looked like they was about to just cry. And then because it was such a disruption and so rude, the Chinese people decided, well, we were going to split these IP addresses. We're going to split the child. And they were just heartbroken because they're not going to be able to talk to their loved ones. And because they're really using social media the way it's supposed to be used. You know what I mean? And so I thought I would come here and talk about that. Business etiquette is of paramount importance. And it is an art that I created a program for it. I'm not really finished with it yet. I'm kind of putting the finishing touches on it. I'm just trying to think. Well, this definitely is going to go in, and this is definitely going to be a module for sure. Just added a new module to the program because if we are going to compete, it's like business, even though you're not directly in competition with someone, when you start your business, one of the things you have to do is market research. You have to do market research to see like what's in the marketplace, who's in the marketplace, who do I want to sell, my products to. And you won't close any deals if you go offending other cultures. I think the military does it the best. They do it better than anybody I've ever seen it. They know how to really bring cultures together. Being in the military, you live around all kinds of people, Filipinos, Asians, Caucasians. We lived in Hawaii, the Samoans, and you really get to learn their culture. And a lot of times you assimilate and pick up things from their culture. They pick up things from your culture. My neighbor, she was Filipino. I still make lumpia to this day. I still, this is egg rolls, but just to learn about their culture and learn different cultures was like really great, just to be in that melting pot of people. And you just can't expect to be in business and to do business abroad, because eventually you want to do international business. Eventually you want to go to other countries and do business. And I think that experience, from what I'm seeing, is causing people's standards to come up, because as business etiquette is about standard. And they were like, oh, the Chinese people, they're so nice and they're so respectful because they're representing their country. They have standards, and we need to get some. You can't just go everywhere acting all willy-nilly. Okay, there's a proper way to do things. You can't soup because it's soup, and you can't go to another country drinking out the bowl that you're supposed to be washing your hands in. So before y'all migrated over there, you should have at least, given them the courtesy of, even if you didn't learn but a couple of sentences, even if you just learn how to say hello, goodbye, just say a few things. You just went over there bombarding, and it was just a poor representation. This is cut to the chase, okay? Yes, if nobody else is going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, okay? Because I've been telling you. Okay, I wrote this book in 2019. I published it last year. But, we have to like really represent, and we have to understand that. Let me talk to you about my other book. And the reason I write these books is because they're cutting edge. They're things that you should know about in your business. It's more than about making money, because listen, if you get blackballed, you won't make anything. If you go and you're trying to do business and you've offended someone, they're not going to tell you that you offended them. They're just not going to do business with you. And then they're going to tell their friends not to do business with you. And so what's the most effective advertising is word of mouth. It's like wildfire, okay? And so you don't want that to happen. And so one thing that I found about as I have been looking at the Chinese people for a really long time now, one thing I learned about them is that they're real big on education. They're real big on education. And in America, we are dismantling our whole education system. And so that's really giving us a chance to rebuild it the right way. But if you really look at the culture, the Chinese culture, they teach their children trades. Their children, have you ever seen, go on YouTube and look at some of the things that they're teaching their kindergartners. Know how to sew. They're teaching them things that you would never think, life skills. They're teaching them things so that they can be adaptable, so that they can compete like in the world. They teach them how to sew. I remember we had sewing in school, and then they got rid of it. And then there was a lady, she was teaching us how to sew. I think I was maybe like 13 or 14. And then she got sick because she was an older lady. She got sick. And so these are things that we take for granted. But I Am Money. I wrote this book this year, well, last year. I Am Money, your friend, your answer, and your defense. And I have a program. Let me see if I can put my ticker tape down here. Y'all definitely need to get this program. The thing is that you have to create, see, you want to give value, but you don't want to pour into yourself. So your gifts, your abilities, your talents, your education. Let's just look at your education. Let's look at your education and your skills. Right? If you are in college and you're learning, say you're in the medical field and you're learning medical, say if you're going to school for medical billing and coding, then you can, that is something that you're learning that you can trade for money. I Am Money shows you that you are the money and that you have to look at yourself as currency that is inside of you, that you're not giving the value, you are the value, but you have to make yourself valuable. Chinese people make themselves valuable. They learn the skills and they educate themselves. Education is priority for them. It's priority. Y'all don't even want to learn another language. And then going over to the app showed you how fast you could learn a language. I'm here in Houston, Texas. I've been trying to learn Spanish for a little minute now, but I'm going to really commit myself this year. What we need to learn other languages. You need to be able, because there's a language barrier. You don't, business etiquette, when you go to another country, how are you going to communicate with the people if there's a language barrier? There's no way if I was going to go and study international business and go to China, I was going to learn something. I wasn't going to just go over there and, walk around with a book. At that time, social media wasn't where it is today, and just try to translate everything someone says to me. So you have to value education. We're in a country where there are literally people graduating and cannot read or read on a 3rd or 4th grade level. We don't read because we're on social media. And let me tell you, there's going to be a fallout. If they turn that app off on Sunday, it's going to be a problem because people are addicted to social media. And you don't realize what it does to your brain. That dopamine hit, people get up from the time they wake up in the morning, they grab that phone and they're on whatever social media app, probably TikTok, and they're just scrolling. Why do you think they make it an endless scroll? You never put down and that's why I don't put my books on, I don't allow you to read my books on your tablet. I do that for a reason. Because I want you to pick up a physical book. Because why? Because it's going to cause you to focus your mind. This is why I create programs to reset, renew, and rewire your mind. I want you to pick it up and I want you to focus. In order for you to read, you have to focus and then comprehend what you read and then apply what you read. So it's a reason I don't do ebooks. It's a reason that when I do journals, I don't put them on your tablet. Because we got to break this addiction. We have to break this addiction. Time out for social media. Yeah, go on there, give yourself a certain amount of time. If you're in business and you're an affiliate, you're selling something or you're affiliate for someone, give yourself an amount of time to go on there, but also fall back, read. It is, I cannot express to you how important it is to read. Most of the time, people, I remember when I ordered, it was this book, I ordered the proof to the book. And now my first proof, somebody stole it. I hope they read the book, but um the Amazon guy, I said, "Oh, my book is here." He said, "Oh God, you wrote a book?" I said, "Yeah, I write. That's what I do. I write books. I create programs, you know." And he said, "Man, I wish I could write a book." I said, "You can. You can write a book." I wrote this book. This is not AI, okay? This is GI, okay? And I said, he said, "No, I can't because I have ADHD." And I thought, wow, what is that? The inability to concentrate, the inability to focus. When you read a book, you have to still your mind. Your mind has to be still in order to read what the book has to say. So that's why I don't put books on social media, because I need you to get a physical book, sit down in a quiet place, get you some tea or coffee, whatever your favorite beverage is, and unwind and relax and read and pour value into yourself. That's why these people are so innovative. They have this game that they play. Where's my phone? See, I don't even know where my phone is majority of the time. Oh goodness. Cause see, I don't live on my phone. I don't. I do not. Now my laptop, that's a whole nother story. Um, my laptop, that's where I do everything at. But my phone, I half the time I don't even know where that phone is at. I'm looking for it now because I want to show you. They have this game called AlphaGo. It's an AI problem solving game. And I don't know how young they start these children over in China and playing this particular game, but it basically challenges your mind. Remember, I told you when I create programs, I use biblical principle, business principle, and brain principles. Remember 3 B's and financial formulas F1. So the fact of problem solving, the fact that you can solve a problem, is called deep learning. The fact that you can solve a problem. Do you know how much value you add to yourself as a problem solver? And so when you solve problems on that level, you automatically become innovative. So just like this situation, this little situation that happened has caused my mind to think of things that I could do in my business to take my business to the next level. And so it's like, if you never challenge your mind, remember I told you that we all have a money tree. And the money tree is the dendrites in your brain. They look like trees. And the more you connect by reading, by educating yourself, because your brain is always looking for those connections. A lot of times when you have a problem in your life, the reason you can't solve the problem is because your brain is not connecting information. You don't have enough information. Not having enough information also causes not having enough information also causes procrastination. It also causes, when you have too much information, it causes overwhelm. It causes you to be stuck because your brain is trying to figure it out. It can't figure it out because you haven't given it any information. You have to educate yourself. You have to learn new skills, learn new languages. That's how you bring value to yourself. I was listening to a young lady. She was talking about she learned Mandarin Chinese. Matter of fact, I think Candy Burris' son, I don't even think well, how old is he now? Like 8 years old? He's been learning Mandarin since he was about what, 4 or 5? years old. He's been learning Mandarin Chinese. He speaks Mandarin Chinese very well. And not only that, Mandarin, any language that you learn, it opens up another part of your brain. My children, well, my daughter, my youngest daughter, I raised her on what they call Baby Einstein. Now, Baby Einstein used to come on TV. It used to be able to buy like the set of like CDs and stuff. I don't think you can find those now. Well, Baby Einstein, what it does is that everything is set to classical music. And the classical music, it opens up the genius part of their brain. So she was raised on classical music. She's raising her daughter on Baby Einstein classical music. You know, she's raising her children. And my 3-year-old granddaughter, like, she is super smart. Children are like sponges. You can teach them anything. You know, they're very impressionable. So yes, they can learn languages at different. It's easier when you're young. You know, when you get older, it's a whole nother story. But this is the time to expose them to all of that, and that's what they do in China. They're learning different languages, and from what I understand, once you learn like an extra language, all the other languages come easy. So if you learn Spanish, Chinese wouldn't be that hard, and then French, and then you keep adding on, you know, to different languages. And so that's how you add value to yourself. I am money because I read and I constantly add value to myself. And so whenever I want to make money, which is the byproduct, see, the reason why you all are having this awakening is because you're chasing money, because we're under a narcissistic government. And what does that mean? That means that they don't care about people. People are just transactional. They don't care about people. You're an object to them. All they want to do, people that are narcissistic, money is their God. So we live in this narcissistic, capitalistic because America is really innocent. It's, you know, it's like your job. The job is not the problem. It's the people at the job. Okay. So America is not the issue. It's the people that's running America that's the issue. You know what I mean? America within itself is not a problem. It's the people that run it. And and most of the time when you have somebody that is capitalistic, and narcissistic, they're greedy. And most greedy people are stingy. Them two things go together, greedy and stingy. So between Mark Zuckerberg and Elon and Jeff, between those three, we're talking about almost $1 trillion between the three of them. Come on, think about it. Think about it now. Think about it. Think about it. 3 people, 3, hold the majority of wealth or money. I'm not going to say wealth, money in this country. Something's wrong. That's not the way that's supposed to be. Why? Now let's take Elon. Okay. Because me being in business, I always read biographies and read how people started. Now, one thing I like about Elon is he does the same thing that I do. Or I do the same thing he do. Let's put it that way. What he does is this hybrid learning. I guess I can call it hybrid learning. Hybrid learning is you learn other specialties. That's what I do. So I'll take my business degree, and then I'll take what I learned from the Bible, and then I'll take what I learned about the brain, and I splice them 3 together, and what I learned from finance, and I splice them together, and then I present a program. So I call it, I don't know if it's called hybrid learning, but that's what I'm going to call it. It's hybrid learning. Well, Elon has taken business and spliced it with technology. And what else? He threw a couple other things in there. So basically, the principles, that I use the principles from the Bible. So I use the for my foundation, and then I use the business principles as pillars, and then I use the brain principles as the substance, and then I use the financial principles for the roof. And so that's how every single program that I create is created with that formula. And then inside the program is a course or a pathway. And that pathway is modeled after your brain. Because when you learn and as you read and as you write, you're creating pathways in your brain. Your pathway is another way of saying a course, which is the direction or the way that you want to go. So what is the course? That means I want to take you from a fixed mindset, and this is the course that we're going to take to get over here. Or I want to take you from a poor mindset, and this is the path that we're going to take to get to a rich mindset. Or I want to take you from a fixed mindset. Now, the pathway we're going to take is what? To a growth mindset. So that's why that's where the course is a part of the program. The program is essential because I can put you in the car and take you in the course and take you over to the other side. But then what's going to happen if you never changed here? You're going to do what? You're going to end up right back where you started. And see, I don't want you to end up back where you started. I want you to continue in the course. So the curriculum is the objectives. It's the small things, the step-by-step things that you're going to do every single day. So I was looking for my phone because I wanted to show you an example. So what I did was I said, okay, I want to learn. I want to add value to myself. And I want to learn what did I want to learn how to do? It's a bunch of stuff I want to learn how to do. But I wanted to learn, I just use an example. I wanted to learn, and you could use whatever you want to learn. But I want to learn it in 90 days. So I put it in and said, I want to learn software engineering in 90 days. Give me a roadmap. So it gave me what to do from today. So I told it starting today, 90 days out. It told me everything I needed to learn, every book that I needed to read, every website that I needed to go to practice every single day. And so at the end of 90 days, I will have another skill set that I could come and bring to the marketplace and I could sell. So that's how you innovate. But if all you do is come on social media and you just do what you see everybody else doing, I have a public domain book. I learned about PLR in 2015. We're in the age of information. We want fresh information. I'm not buying somebody's PLR that somebody else wrote. You put your stuff to it and you sell it. It's outdated information. Something that you read. That's why I write so many books, because information gets outdated, because we're in the age of information, going into the technological age. And so we don't want outdated information. You can buy all the courses in the world that you want, that somebody then took and put their stuff on and sell you for 10 cents or $27.80 to $25 or $15 a month for outdated information. We're not going to get there that way. We're going to have to innovate. We're going to have to problem solve. Literally, you're going to have to make yourself smart. You're going to have to pour into yourself. And if you don't read, and if our children are not reading, and if they're graduating and on reading on the 3rd and 4th grade level, you really think we're going to catch up with China? It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. No, it's not. because they have taken technology to a whole another, but they had to learn it. You're not willing to learn anything. People are not willing to learn anything. They want to do everything fast, and they don't want to. Did I go through all of that? They do not want to take the time. They just want to get on social media and just scroll. And I was like really surprised to know that people didn't know anything about China. What are y'all? What you cannot just watch American news. I've been watching world news since I was in like sixth grade. I don't even think I really watched that much American news. You need to know what's going on in the world because it's going to affect your business. I mean, I'm not understanding how majority of what we wear. Let me see just what I got on. Oh, I can't see it, but majority of the stuff that's in America come from China. And you didn't even take the time out to learn. You're buying stuff from a company, from a country. You don't even know anything about the country. Now, when Walmart, I'm going to always use Walmart as a case study. When Sam Walton started his business, it was what? Made in America. We don't manufacture anything anymore. These Chinese children are in kindergarten learning trades. Sewing is a trade. If you know how to sew, oh my goodness. And see, sewing is one of those things where you learn how to sew, and then eventually you start making your own patterns. And then from there, you could do tailoring and so many things you could do. You could teach sewing. You're adding value. I am money. Money is who I am. I am the value. I am the answer, the defense. Money is your friend. You have to make friends with money to go on the journey to fill your purpose and your dreams. The last time I was here, I gave y'all a little break because I was fussing at y'all the last time about the vision boards. And guess what? Started popping up in my feed. People that start talking about they don't do vision boards because they found out what they really are. And it has nothing to do with Rebecca. You know what I'm saying? So why? Back to the same thing, because you don't read. You just follow. And whatever the government tell you to do, that's what you do. To me, it's like watching a bad movie that you can't change the channel from. And you don't realize how conditioned, you don't realize how brainwashed, you don't realize just how controlled American people really are. I didn't really understand like the deep effects of it until COVID. When COVID hit, that's when I really saw, I said, woo, we in trouble. That's when I really saw how brainwashed people really, I mean, and the thing that was so sad about the whole COVID vaccine debacle was, I should have bought my book out. Did I pack it up? Where is it at? I'm going to show y'all this book because it's huge. That thing, the thing that was so crazy about it was they used fear. Like they had people afraid. They used a spirit of fear and they used division. It was the vaccinated against the unvaccinated. How do you know who was vaccinated and who wasn't? Unless somebody told you. The level of control that our government has on people, it's amazing. I was like, this is scary. People was running out, and now all the reports are coming in saying that everything that they told y'all was a lie. We are under a narcissistic government. Narcissists never tell the truth. All they do is project. They never tell the truth. They are money hungry. Listen, if you're talking to somebody, it's a young lady that came on. I said, this is so pitiful. And she said, let me admit something to you. She said, I don't want to hear nothing about how your day went. I don't want to hear nothing about your cat. I don't want to hear nothing about you, period. She said, all I want to talk about is how to get this money. I said, now that right there, and that is capitalism and narcissism rolled up all in one hot dog roll. Because I'm a social entrepreneur. I want to hear how your day went. I want to hear what's going on with you. Why? Because I'm a problem solver. So I want to hear whatever your problem is, I want to hear it. Okay? I want to hear it. Because as I'm listening to you, my computer is ticking. It's giving me stuff. And sometimes when people be talking to me, I have to go and pull out my pen and start writing down because answers are coming. Because I am money. The answer is inside of me. So answers, as you're talking to me and you're telling me, oh yeah, and this happened and that happened and that happened and this happened. If the only reason I'm having a relationship with you is how we can make money, I don't want to work with you. I don't want to work with you. Because money is your God. See, money is not my God. I am money. Money is not my God. I know how to make money. When I need money, I know how to make it. Because I understand that money is a byproduct. But I'm not supposed to worship it. I'm not supposed to love it. The Bible says make friends with it. And I thought, how sad. Like how sad, and how many real meaningful relationships this person is going to miss out on when your agenda is transactional. You're only associated with somebody because of how y'all can get this money. That's a sad way to live. That's a sad way to be. See, that's why I'm telling you, you got to get there a certain way. You do not want to lose yourself along the way. Money can't make you and it can't break you. This is the reason why what you know, you perish for the things you don't know. Your knowledge. Educate yourself. Learn new skills. Learn new languages. You're adding value to yourself. These people they were at the bottom at one time too. Look at the history of China. They were not always where they are now. They added value, and they kept adding value and kept adding. And I ain't gonna hold you. Chinese people, they know how to copy too. They some copycats too. They know how to copy you down to the T. They done copy every one of Michael Jackson's moves. They know how to copy. But they know how to make themselves valuable. And that's what it means to be money. They make their children valuable. If you met a 7-year-old that knew how to sew and cook, they sewing, cooking, cleaning, changing tires on cars, and they 9 and 10 years old. They're making them valuable. They're teaching them. And not only that, it makes you adaptable. Our children don't want to do nothing but play games and be on social media. I've been saying it for years. America's going to be a third world country. Y'all say we already there. I said we could turn it around. I think we can turn it around if we just listen. Annapolis, Maryland, when I lived in Annapolis, Maryland, had to fight for the library to stay open. Here in Houston, Texas, had to fight for the library. See, they want to get rid of the library because why? What do they really want to get rid of in TikTok? It's not only just about the money. It's about the money too, but it's also about the information. If I can control the information, in slavery, they didn't want Black people to read. Why? Because when you educate yourself, you empower yourself. When you educate yourself, now you can speak up for yourself. You have a voice. Now you know things. Now you're valuable. You're already valuable as a human being, but you start off as a blank slate. It's about information. They don't want you to know the information. And I can't believe people have never even like watched the world news to find out what's going on in other countries. You just want to know what's going on in just your country? That's very narrow-minded. Broaden your mind. When COVID hit, Dr. Fauci, well, where is he at anyway? Has anybody seen the man? First, he was on TV every 3 seconds. Now you don't hear nothing from him. He kept saying, believe the science. So I consider myself a scientist, and that's what I did. I went to the bookstore and bought me a microbiology book. A microbiology book that I keep saying I'm going to show it to y'all. It's a huge book, too. Microbiology specializing in like the diseases, different diseases. And I turned to the section of viruses. I'm going to show it to y'all the next time I come on here. First paragraph. There is no cure for a virus. First paragraph. So if there's no cure for a virus, they don't have a cure for the common cold. What were they giving y'all? If there's no vaccine or no cure for a virus, what are they giving you? You can take a natural antibiotic. You don't need to go to the doctor for an antibiotic. You have a natural antibiotic, oil of oregano. So what were you taking? What was happening? What was going on? Something else going on around now called a norovirus. It's like pneumonia, COVID, and something else all wrapped up and like pigs in a blanket, all in one. I'm trying to come here and tell you guys the truth. Like, you have got to add value to yourself. You have got to, in order for you got to innovate. You got to constantly keep learning and keep learning and keep learning. Now they're bringing AI in, and that's a whole nother level. If you want to, especially if you're young, you don't want to just play the game. You want to be able to create the game. Now, it's amazing to me how no one ever thought, let's create our own app. Why we keep running to all these apps? They created an app. Why can't you create one? I'm sure TikTok can be replicated. Anything can be replicated. You just got to figure out how, do some research and find out how he made it. So, and guess what? There's a market for it. There's a market for it. See, we keep wanting someone else to do it, but these people have taken the time out to educate themselves to get their skill level to the point that they can make their own app and make a lot of money. Well, why can't you make your own app? Because why? Because it's going to take time. You're going to have to take classes. You're going to have to learn. So what? Once you learn that skill, it's going to be worth money. I want you to start thinking. I want you to reverse engineer the money. Okay? Because you can make anything money. Anything can be money. Okay? I want you to get your mind off the money and get your mind on the recipe of what it takes to make the money. Then you won't be able to be controlled. Nobody won't be able to control you. Nobody can never take from you what you know. If how many times have Donald Trump gone bankrupt? And he's still, and now he get ready to be the president. Because it's all about what you know. It's like, it's who you know. No, it's not who you know. It's what you know. What you know is going to help you get to the who you know. Because money is attracted to value. And when you make yourself valuable, you are the money. I am money. Go get the book, get the course. You can make money anytime you want to. You don't have to get on somebody's platform. Build your own platform. Because listen, they can take away apps, but guess what's not going to go away? The internet. It's not going anywhere. There's a difference between the World Wide Web and the internet. They're not the same. The World Wide Web is your address. It's like your house where you live on the internet. The internet is the land, and the World Wide Web is the connections to say, oh, this is where she lives. She lives over here. This is her IP address. For real, you need to have a website and you need to drive traffic to the website. And for real, what we need to be doing is exchanging is getting emails. For real, because they're not going to get rid of the internet ever. It's not going anywhere. But if you have somebody's email address, you can always let them know what it is that you're working on. You got a new book coming out. You have a new program. You have a new products. I got new products coming out. I have a lot of products coming out, this year. I'm expanding into, other things, other arenas. As a result of this influx, going over to Red Note, I'm thinking about some other things that I could do, for this year, for my business, because I'm constantly adding value. I'm constantly adding value to myself. I'm constantly taking classes. I'm constantly learning new things. I'm constantly writing my own books, creating my own programs. Like, I'm constantly moving forward, trying to push the needle forward. I'm going tomorrow to volunteer and probably implement a program with a nonprofit that I created called Read to Rise, because I want us to read more on every level, whether you're from, what's the youngest person can be taught to read? Probably probably a 4-year-old can be taught to read, maybe 3, probably I'll say 4 can be taught to read. We need to be readers. Readers are leaders. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. If we're going to be competitive, we have got to create value. And we cannot use old information just to push something out there just to make a dollar. Because, look at the level that they're operating from. They're not even going to want to buy what it is that you're pushing out, because you're operating on antiquated, obsolete, and old information. You have to keep learning. And they don't just learn, they deep learn. They're almost that. This is probably why they want to make robots, because they almost a walking robot themselves. Chinese people are very innovative people, and I've always loved that about them. They are very innovative, but you can't be innovative if you don't add value to yourself. It's not just your gifts, your abilities. There's some things that you naturally have, your talents. You know what I'm saying? You can monetize your, I'm working on that book next. You can monetize anything, your trials, your tribulations, your experiences, your expertise, everything. You need to be looking at everything through a new lens. You need to be looking at everything through a new light. They're very disciplined people. They're very disciplined, but it doesn't look like to me that they chase money. It looks like to me that they are all about education. They're all about adding value. And I'm just like-minded, and I love that about their culture, that they're very education oriented, and they have been working at it for a long time, and they've added the hybrids, the different, and not only that, science too. Elon, science. He's added science to his business and physics to his business. All of these things are what make you innovative. You have to incorporate other disciplines into your business. It's not just business. You can't just, because if you do that, we're going to keep falling further and further behind. But if you want to stand out, you have to incorporate other disciplines, as well. So I wanted to come here and just kind of, always want to put something on your mind and make you think, because we need thinkers, we need innovators. I say it all the time. If we are going to be competitive in the world with the products and everything that we create, they're going to have to be cutting edge. And they're not going to be cutting edge if we just operating on old antiquated information and old PLRs that somebody wrote in 1917. You're going to put it on the website and sell it for $27. Just put a bunch of them on there and sell it. That's not going to cut it. It has to be cutting edge. And you're going to have to look and see, how do you fit into the scheme of things, and you on a global scale. I talked to you about that the last. I told you the vision that I have won't fit on a board. It will not fit on a board, because you have to expand your thinking, and it has to be global. It has to be international. And you have to look at other cultures and see how other cultures are doing things, if we're going to, push the needle forward. So that's all I wanted to come here and say to you. That now that TikTok is gone, I'm sure you guys will find another app, because people are gonna be having withdrawal symptoms. it's like they're gonna go cold turkey. People already on social media crying because TikTok gonna be gone. But Trump might bring it back though, because Trump, I don't think he was really for TikTok initially. But I think this time when he ran for president, his son Barron reintroduced him to the power of TikTok and being able to organically reach people and audiences. So I think that he has had to rethink TikTok. So I think initially he wasn't really feeling it either. Because he's thinking that they're, getting our information. But I remember telling people years ago, I wrote a book called Grit, and people were like, well, social media is free. And I kept telling them, no, it's not. Social media is not free. See, y'all, I need to get y'all out of this thing that everything is fiat currency. Everything is the dollar. Where my person? Everything is this. No. Y'all got to look at money in an intangible form. Y'all have to look at the intangible money. Y'all keep just looking at tangible. You got to look at the intangible. Social media is not free. Facebook is not free. Instagram is not free. I think that's one good thing that came out of everybody running over the red note, because you can't read those terms and conditions. When you signed up for Facebook and Instagram and you're on these people's platforms, you are agreeing and letting them sell your information. And you're like, I don't care. You should care. You know why you should care? Because they're not cutting you a check. That's why you should care. They are using your information, not cutting you a check, and you gave them permission. So in other words, you're getting on their platform. You're making crumbs. Here we go back to the crumbs, because narcissists love to give out crumbs. You're getting crumbs while they're being made billionaires off of your information. You should care. So if anybody tells you that social media is free, they don't know business. See, it's certain things that people do and say. Those of us that do real business and those of us that are in business for real, we be like, yeah, they fugazi, they fake, they don't know what they're doing. Social media is not free. In order for you to be on that platform, you give them permission to sell your information. That's why they're able to control people. Because how do you control people? What did I tell y'all? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Go look it up. You have basic needs. Everybody has basic needs. And Mark Zuckerberg has become a billionaire because he has honed in on, you really should use all of them in your business. Actually, when you're creating products and programs, you really should sprinkle pretty much on all levels. I focus more on self-actualization. That's the highest level you could go on the pyramid. Self-actualization. So he has honed in on your need to feel a part of a family. Because why? Most African American people, that was stolen from us. The sense of family. We don't have no loyalty to one another. We don't know how to come together and stick together. They bank on that. So he's built his whole platform on the sense of social, the social need to belong, to be a part of something. And so you come on, what's up, fam? You don't know these people. Social media is not so social. You don't know not one of the people that come on your platform. You do not know these people. You do not. You see, so he's built it on there. Your need to belong, your need to be accepted, your need to be seen, your need to be heard. So if I satisfy that need that they have and create that platform, because it started out one thing and it migrated into something different. And if I sell their information to marketing agencies and other companies, and because why? It's a social engineering act. What is social engineering? Social engineering is when I study your behavior. What is an engineer? To be able to what? Put you on a specific course, to lead you somewhere. And then I control the what? Information. I control the information. I control the news. I control what they see. I control what they read. I control it all. So you're like in a little bubble and you never step out of that bubble. And then when people like me come along and say, hey, have you all looked over here at what China's doing? Have you looked over here at the UK? Have you looked at? No, y'all ain't looking at nothing but what they putting in front of your face. And that's what narcissists do. And so while you're looking at this one thing over here and you're being distracted, isn't that how thieves steal from you? In order for me to steal from you, I have to distract you. If I want to steal something from you, I got to distract you first. Then if I can distract you, I can steal everything you got. Because you're looking over here. Like if somebody tap your shoulder over here and you look this way and then they go in your pocket right here. They're distracting you with the tap, but they're going in your pocket over here. Well, that's what our government does. They distract you. Then you get off social media, you go to sleep. You don't read, you don't pick up a book, you don't read the Wall Street Journal, you don't read, you don't do anything but what they tell you to do. And then you wonder why you're so far behind. So I'm here to cut to the chase and tell you, add value to yourself. Learn some business etiquette. If you want to do business abroad, learn. It's a way to do it. Business etiquette, doing business the right way, how to close $1 million deals. So that's all I wanted to come here and say. Put my little 2 cents in there. And I will probably, what's tomorrow? Saturday. I'm going out of town. I'm going to Austin. So I'll probably still talk to y'all. I'll go ahead and tell y'all the real deal and tell y'all what everything really is, because this is cut to the chase. So I will see you guys. I'll come on here tomorrow and talk to y'all and see what else is going on. And I hope y'all ain't had a nervous breakdown because they taking TikTok away. Trump will probably bring it back. Whether it'll be the same or not, I don't really know. But yeah, he'll probably bring it back because I think it was instrumental. I think he said I believe he said 30% or something. It really helped him in his election. So I think he might bring it back. He may bring it back under some different, because Trump is a negotiator. So I don't know. We'll see.